G'day. Welcome to Diecast Labs. Today, I hope to be working on this Matchbox Speed Kings, or King size, whatever you like to call it, the K20, which is the Ford tractor transporter. As you watch this casting go around on the turntable, I'd like to welcome the returning friends of the channel that keep supporting us. Thank you very much. If you're a first-time viewer, I hope you stay and watch what I do, trying to give this casting a new lease of life. My channel is geared for the hobbyist, so that's a person like you. Now, what I do is not always perfect, but at least I'm giving it a go. So, let's get on with the show and have a closer look at it. Well, guess what? We're not just working on one of the K20s, we're working on 3 of them, plus the Matchbox 39C tractors. That's a bit of a surprise for you, isn't it? There you go. So let's have a closer look. This is the Superfast version of it. It is missing the rear axle to the prime mover or the tractor unit. It is missing the part in the middle that holds the tractors in place, and it's missing 3 of the tractors. That doesn't matter. I have something else planned to put on the back of the flatbed. We'll have to make some new axle, new wheels. Surprisingly, the front wheels are nice and straight, as are the rear ones on the trailer. So let's look at the next one. This is one of the early version of the Superfast. I'm making that assumption by this thing that's on the flatbed trailer. Because you have a look at this back one, it has hooks, which tells me that's a later model. When I was 11 years old, that's 54 years ago, I had one of these. It was the regular wheels with the plastic hub and the plastic tyre, and it had this frame on the back, and within an hour I had snapped it right here where my little finger is, because I thought it came apart quite easily, like in the low loader and things like that, but sadly it didn't. Anyway, enough of my history. Let's have a look at this one. This one has all its wheels, but the rear axle is bent, and being the wire type, not easy to straighten out. But in saying that, there is enough room. I may do it, is to shorten up the axle, use my jewellery spot welder so we can have the original wheels on it. I need to straighten out this part, because when you look at it, a bit hard to see, it's got a bit of a twist. So that's something else we need to do on there. Now the tractors themselves, they are missing their wheels, so we'll need to do something about that on all three of them. They are also missing their steering wheels on those three. And also take note, it may show up on camera, the different colours. I've put that one in the middle. Yes, it has some white paint on it. That's the only thing that's there. So if you're colour matching, if your casting still has colour match it to the casting that you have in front of you, not to a casting that you see a photograph of, because the camera will play tricks on you, and then you'll get the rivet counter saying, oh, you didn't get it the right colour. If you want to colour match to the casting you have in your hand, if there's still paint on it. Otherwise, close enough is good enough. Because really, unless you're really, really, really into your casting, when you look at something on the shelf and looking at it from a distance, you're not going to know. And there's that. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Let's have a look at this. Have a look at this third one. Now this one has the thing that cages the tractors. It does have all its wheels, but again, it has suffered the same thing as the other ones, with the wire being bent. So I have a choice of either cutting the wire smaller, straightening it, cutting it smaller, and then using the jewellery spot welder to put it back into place, or we make new rims and hubs. Now, regarding these units, this one, as you can see, has come off, so we need to reaffix the top part. It does have wheels and tyres. Oops. Fumble fingers at work. Does have all its wheels and tyres and steering wheel. The same thing with this one, even though the wheels are loose on them, so we will probably glue them. And the same thing with that one. Now, I need to be a little bit honest here. The tyres on this particular one, I've already 3D printed. And I didn't use plastic, I used TPE, so it's rubber-like. On this particular one, the front and rear tyres. There's an original. And there's a TPE one. Very close. And like I say, unless when you look at them from a distance, like I say, from there, you will not know. Anyway, enough of my ranting. So let's disassemble. See you in a moment. So the tractor and trailer unit are apart. You see the tyres and the steering wheel off the tractor using the bird tool. One post and it lifts off. So there are your individual components. I will take the hubs off the lower half of the tractor, or the main body, again using the burr tool and or a file. Just take the burr off the axle and it'll be ready to go. So see you in a moment. Well, welcome to the world famous Diecast Labs stripping venue, where we have sometimes good strippers, sometimes we have bad strippers, but there's participation by today's casting, and as you can see, it is ready, willing and able. Our strippers today are from the caustic soda group. We'll use two 1/8 cup of our strippers. Now what our strippers would like are some nice hot water, get the juices flowing for them to work. So here we go. Nicely working properly. Good to see. We're putting enough hot water in to cover the casting. And you can see a colour change already. I'll just put a little bit more in. Like I said, to cover our casting. That's all that we need. Now, is this embarrassment, or is the strippers having a good time? We've gone from red to yellow in the cab. So we're going to do a little swishy dance. So we're making sure that the caustic soda gets all around the place. Now I've got paint coming off. Alright, we'll leave our strippers and our customer casting. Let them be so they can have some fun while I work on another project. So, we shall see you in a moment. Well, if you are seeing this screen, that means we're about to do some setup for 3D printing using slicing programs. The two main slicing programs that I use is Matchbox and K20 Print. I sometimes use the lychee slicer as well, but majority of times it is those two. The Shih Tzu box I use for resin printing. The Creality print I use for filament printing. So let's start off with the Creality print, so the filament. I've already got the folder open for the parts that I want, and we want the Kenworth truck parts. This is easier to get. What we want are the tyres. So I've measured the outside diameter of the original tyres, and that was 19 millimeters. So we need to change that from 53 to 19. So the also thing we need to take note of, and I'll write it down now, is 35.61 as our percentage. The other thing that we need to change is our width. Currently at the moment 5.18. We want to take it up to 8. Let's enter, and as you can see, it's gone wider, which is excellent. So we're using our TPE filament, so everything in there is already set up. So what we need to do now is make clones or copy. These are going to be the front tyres. For our casting. So we slice. And the program is what they call a slicing program. When it's finished, this is what the slicing program does. It does each layer. Notice how the tyre will print from the build plate up. So we can save that one. So yes, it's a good thing that what I'm doing for demonstration purposes, I've had to make some changes, so we're fine there. So let's go back into what's called prepare section. We are going to remove 5 of the tyres. Going to keep this one. Where we took it up to 8 millimeters before, we're going to take it down to 3. As you can see, it's gotten a lot thinner. Can you guess why I've done that? Simple reason is that these are the rear tyres and the tyres that will go on the trailer. So we're making it, so double wheels on the back, like you see on most trucks, not the super singles. They're dangerous, super singles. So, Control A, we slice. We don't need supports for these. We will save them. Yes. All right. So we have completed what we need to do on the filament printer. So we can close that program, exit. Now we're going to Matchbox or Matchbox, depending on whether you say tomato. So we now need to make our hubs. They call it a reel. They call them wheels, so because it's the US. So we are going to resize. Now remember our percentage that we had. So we're going to 35.61. We are going to make our height, just to make it a little bit easier, 6mm. We will go over to supports. You can leave it at light. Auto support. Just have a quick look as to, yes, there are enough supports there. I'm happy with that. So now we need to make copies or clones of it. So we want 1, 2, we need at least 4. So Control A, slice, island detection to see if there's any problems. Excellent, it all stay blue, so we can save. We can, I'll leave it as test 1 because I've done the others. Yes. As we wait for that to save it. We don't need to open the folder. We go back into the preparations. We can remove those. Now we want the front wheels or the front hubs. There we go there. Again we have to resize. 35.61. We will lock the ratio, don't forget to do that. Whoops. Let's go Alt Z, lock the ratio, 35.61. That takes everything down where it should be. Go back over here to supports. Auto support. We want to maybe add some more, and I do. Make sure that the plus sign is ticked. So one there, there. Just adding some supports. Go back into preparation. So different program, different things. We need to copy. And Control A or select all. We slice. Detection. Save. Take that back into the main area. We can delete those. Like I said, we're doing a fair amount of printing on this bad boy. Go into files. I want to do some sun visors. like I did for the Dinky Toys demonstrator that I did last year. So I'm doing the sun visor angry, and it says angry because of the way it looks there. This time round we're just going to resize it. I'll just bring that towards this side a little bit. Rescale. We're looking for the Z, which is the red axis on here. I've taken the measurement using my calipers, and it worked out to be 35 millimeters. Again, just supports. Now you may be asking, for those that already do 3D printing, why am I not putting this on a 45-degree angle? You don't always have to. Sometimes it's just better to leave it as it is. We'll do 4 copies. Not everything needs to be done on angles. Detect. This should not find any islands because it's just pretty much straightforward up and down. We save. No, we don't need to do that. Come back over here. Delete. So I don't bore you too much further. I have something else which if you're astute enough to see what I had in the saved sections, you would see there's one more item that I'll print, but I still have to do some more working out on that one, so I won't do it on screen. So I will show you the finished products once I have them printed. See you shortly. Now, here we are with our Matchbox K20 tractor and trailer unit. This is the main one that I focused on. We've stripped it, we've repainted it. We have 3D printed new hubs, new tyres, new rear section for taillights on both the prime mover and on the trailer. Again, 3D printed the hubs and tyres for the trailer. And to suit that one, we've also 3D printed a container. We've 3D printed mirrors, and we've 3D printed a sun visor for that particular unit. So that was my focus on that particular casting. And yes, we can move around. Now with the other units, because remember there were 3. As I try and get this stabilised. Now with these other units, I have replaced the axles on the prime mover part. Didn't take them apart. That was the only thing I replaced on there. We have redone the tractors. These ones here, we've got new steering wheels in them. We also have 3D printed tyres for the ones that were missing. This one got a blue one in the middle here that I've got my finger on. has had its hood and seat repainted. The ones with the yellow have all been pulled apart and repainted. And again, some of them had 3D printed wheels done on them. So, I hope you liked the video, and we'll catch you next time at Diecast Labs.